Namaste, beloved. Today I want to talk to you about something which I don't think we actually really talk about. Not in the real. And what I want to talk to you about is rape. And where I want to come from is a slightly different place to how we normally talk about rape. When we talk about rape, we mostly focus on the damaging aspects that it does to women and also on the general abuse that rape points to regarding women. And this is certainly deeply valid and required and needed, and I honor it in this moment. But there's another aspect to rape that if we don't look at it in a very real way, we're never going to find any real transformation with rape, understanding alchemy, what rape is trying to show us on this planet. And the aspect I want to point out, which seems really obvious, but no one talks about it, is that rape is an illness or a disease of men. That this rape points to a deep, deep wounding in men. And that if we are ever going to heal rape on our planet, we need to look at men and what brings them to raping women. We need to heal men. We need to bring in a movement of consciousness in our beings that will help men heal through the mind that brings them to rape. And it's a bit of a difficult one to see completely. We see it by its effect. So, if a woman is raped, what happens to this woman is, even though we're in a very conscious place, she's the victim, the woman still carries a very deep stigma that somehow she's less from the rape, that somehow she's responsible, that somehow she is dirty or shamed by the rape experience itself. And my feeling, my strong feeling, and women I have worked with, that one of the major hooks why women don't heal from rape, why they don't alchemize this energy, why they don't transform the energy out of their body through their body, which women have a great capacity for. One of the main reasons why rape hurts women for as long as it hurts them is because of the cultural mind around rape. That this woman somehow is now dirtied by this experience. That she has changed. And in some cultures, in a way, she may not be wanted anymore as a wife or a mother. In some cultures, a woman who is raped, the family might kill her as an honor to the family to remove this shame. That's how extreme it goes on our planet, to where a woman carries it. In our advanced, more awake civilizations, she will receive a great deal of support and sympathy. But underneath all that, she's been raped. So if women want to heal from being raped, they need to start releasing the stigma themselves, because much of the wounding of the rape is the mind of it than the very action itself. The action itself has healing to do, but if you put that together with the mind, it's very hard to release the wound of rape. But to come back to men, in our culture, it's still more acceptable that men have many lovers or go and sow their wild oats than a woman, which of course is very funny if you think about it, because who they sowing their wild oats with? It's mostly with women, unless they're gay, but still, it's generally with women. So it's quite strange that women are looked down upon for having sex, when men are kind of accepted. This is a great paradox. But if we go deep into the paradox, if a woman has many lovers, if she takes like 100 lovers over the next few months, in the minds of many people, she will be considered a very dirty woman, a whore or a slut. If she doesn't do that, she's not a dirty woman. She's not filthy. She's not a whore or slut. Therefore, the ingredient that makes her a whore or slut, a dirty, filthy woman, is the penis that is entering her, which means it's not the woman that is dirty, filthy woman. It's the penis that actually, even though we don't say it out loud that much, we consider penises to be filthy, dirty, and that if a woman has more than what in the culture is acceptable, maybe she's allowed to have 3 lovers in her life, or 1 only, or husband, or etc., and she goes more than that through that threshold, she's considered filthy, dirty, which means we consider penises filthy and dirty. And this gets so bad in some minds of men that their penis is so disgusting, is so filthy, that nobody would really want this penis inside of her. That he must force it into this woman. He must force his filthy, dirty penis into a woman because she would never receive it otherwise. So we start seeing a little different aspect to rape, that really it is the disease or illness of the minds of men and what has been put on their penises, what has been put on their sex. So we start to look at it a little differently. That perhaps the penis is the aspect of being where the masculine is able to fulfill the bliss of giving of himself to the world. This can be lovemaking directly, but it can also be his creative possibilities, his capacity to be in the protection of life, the capacity to be in the true giving of his being through the lingam. That if this is considered filthy, dirty, he gets cut away from his bliss, from his power as a man to give into the world. His power is taken from him. The power of living, the power of expressing his giving into the world is taken from him. And we miss that power. We feel powerless, and being helpless, powerless, is a feeling most people want to get away from. So what do? They don't have the power of the lingam. They don't have the power of giving. They don't have this power of the lingam to give into the world. They've been told it's filthy, dirty. You make women filthy by putting the penis in them. Imagine if a woman puts her mouth over her penis, how filthy that makes her. So their power is taken from them. So to take some power back, to feel some power, they just go to the brute physical strength, which isn't power. It isn't true power of being, the power to give of your love, of your being into the world. That's got nothing to do with it. It's a brute strength where you can force another person to submit to your will. So first the penis is refused because it's considered filthy, dirty. And they might not hear that directly, even though they probably do from their mothers and their fathers when they are growing up and their culture. They get a lot of messages that their desire for sex, that their desire and their sex energy, that their desire, their penises are filthy, dirty. They get a lot of such messages. But we know, as a culture, we know that we think that men's penises are filthy and dirty because if a woman has had one too many, which is sometimes just one in some cultures, then she is a filthy, dirty woman. So we know what we think of penises just by if a woman embraces one. So there he has to cut off from this energy, from his giving into the world. So he's no longer connected to his power. And the only way he can have any semblance of a tiny bit of power is to physically force the physical brute power, a woman, into taking this filthy thing into her body. And then she is left with, I've taken this filthy thing into my body. I've taken it. I'm less than. I've been forced into this. Who will love me now? Who would want to be my husband? Who would want me to be the mother of the children after I've been so violated? And that very mind, that very wound, is what is going to keep the woman in the trauma of the rape long after it could have naturally been healed and transformed in her body. So, if we want to bring healing to rape, both men and women need to recover the power of their bodies. Men need the healing to love the penis again, need to see that it is not dirty, filthy, that their desires are not dirty, filthy, that of dogs, hungry dogs, but that it is valid and that it takes them into life and shows them the pathway to their own magnificent giving into the world. And that woman, the power of woman is this amazing capacity to receive life, energy through their yoni, through their vagina. That as she opens to life, she receives this profound energy. And as she receives the energy of the man, he's able to give into the world. And for women, especially, to stop raping themselves. Because women rape themselves. They do not trust the mystery of the yoni. You see, the vagina, the yoni, has a profound, profound mystery in her receptivity. We can say, be present with a woman, perhaps she will open with you. Bring your giving energy to her, perhaps this will open. But as a woman, I can tell you, I do not fully comprehend this mystery myself, when my yoni opens to you or not. This mystery is beyond me. This mystery that lives deep in my body when I open or close is beyond the mind understanding. It's a deep, deep being, body awareness. And for women to begin to honor this, you make love, you're open to making love only when your body is in a deep yes. Not because he's being nice or present or, if you don't make love, perhaps he won't like you, perhaps he'll stop dating you, perhaps he'll lose interest in the marriage. Not for these reasons, because if these are the reasons you make love, you are raping yourself. You are raping the feminine within you. You're forcing her to please him out of fear. And then you will not know the bliss of lovemaking, of love. So we both need to reclaim the core of the masculine, which is the lingam or the penis, and the core of the feminine, which is the yoni or the vagina. Reclaim their power, reclaiming them in fullness. Reclaim the mystery when she wants to open, and only then stop raping yourself. Only when she wants to open does she open. Do you go with the flow of the lovemaking? And to know, men, that your lingam is not dirty, filthy. Your desire is not dirty, filthy. To reclaim this, to reclaim the love of your lingam, and to start to trust where it flows. Sure, you might meet the yoni, she may not open. Beautiful, but you can still be in your desire. You can still be in the full desire of your being. You don't have to make love with it, because desire itself is a joy. So our true healing happens when we reclaim the power of the lingam, which is his bliss, to give into the world, or of the yoni, which is her bliss, to open and receive. But in the mystery of it, only when she opens do we open. No longer letting our mind override the true opening, which then is a rape. Women raping themselves in compliance with their partner. And men feeling such a refusal of their own body, distrust, dislike, filth, dirt, that they must force it on women. And then, from that place, men can reclaim their responsibility in this thing called rape. which is protection of the beloved feminine. So even if you are with a woman who is saying, yes, I want to make love to you, but you don't feel the real, your penis isn't becoming erect, you're not really feeling her true yes. You say no, you don't agree to her rape of herself. You go to that kind of subtlety, that kind of mastery with her. And then, to the true protection of woman, because that too is your bliss, to protect her. That if there's such men in the community, you can approach it in different ways. You can try as men to show them the real way of the lingam, to show them how to love woman. And if they still cannot receive this learning, perhaps an exile where you no longer relate to them, you see them, you don't relate to them. Exile is normally be in prison. This would be another kind of exile. There's ways and means. But first we have to come to the deeper understandings of what the rape is about, so we can find the next step. And as woman, you can step into your power as woman and help heal these men. Help bring, as you fall in love with your own yoni and with the lingam, which is what we do in Tantra so much, in the tantric touch work, we bring our love, our pure love to this lingam. So men can once again know that it is not dirty or filthy, but deeply, deeply honored, loved by the feminine. As we step into the power of that healing possibility, that awakening possibility of the sexuality, the true sexuality in men, we will heal ourselves collectively from our own rape of ourselves and the rape that has happened to women over the ages. So men must step back into the protection of women. Regardless of you, if you are a rapist or not, you are responsible for the protection of women. And to claim that again in your body. And for women to claim the love of the lingam. It is not dirty, filthy, it hasn't come to defile you, to take something from you. It's come to give you something. But only in that mysterious opening of the yoni can it possibly truly give to you. And you must honor that. And in that recovery of yourself, in that awareness of yourself, in that awakening of your own energy, you then can step into the power of the feminine and awaken, heal, bring back to wholeness the ugliness that men have suffered from the teachings of the mother, the father, the culture. And as men and women, we take this power back. We stand tall and strong and aware in what we know and insist on it, and insist on sharing this awareness and guiding ourselves and each other to it. We'll move through this thing called rape and abuse of women and this illness of men, and come back to health and wholeness inside our own beings. But it's time for a new vision and a new approach, a new seeing. And then perhaps again, we can truly return to love and end the war between men and women, and the inner war of the masculine and feminine that resides in each of us. Namaste, beloved.